Welcome back to the channel, everyone. This is me, Next Gen Envoy Extreme, and I'm bringing you, I know it's been a bit overdue, but better late than never. It's going to be round 1 of season 2, and we are at Australia. Obviously, a couple of days ago I did put out the pre-season 2 video where we managed to sign Sergio Perez. Don't know how we managed that, but I'm not going to complain. I'm absolutely delighted we've got Sergio Perez. But my worry is, have we got the car to suit his needs? Because remember last season, in that race point, he was absolutely dominating the top half of the grid, being debatably like best of the rest, best after Ferrari, best after Red Bull, best after Mercedes. But anyway, so it's heading into MyTeam Career mode for what's episode 23, and it's Australia. And obviously we made some huge upgrades, we made some huge investments in all of the departments. So now a lot of all of it is Spec 2. We've upgraded some of our driver perks as well, headed into season 2. But as you can see, Sergio Perez, he is 96 rating, so he's going to be absolutely dominating, I think, in this car at Australia. But just give a bit of hindsight into what's going to happen in this episode is, remember before Abu Dhabi, we put a major front wing upgrade on, and that really hindered us at Abu Dhabi, I think, personally. So heading into Australia, this track is known for a lot of front wing downforce, but because we haven't got that rear wing downforce yet, the car is going to handle like shit, I think. Yeah, I think it's going to absolutely handle like shit. We're going to be spinning on in practice. So we did practice. We spent about 3 hours doing practice in total. As you can see, I am running at 104 AR difficulty. I'm not decreasing it. I'm keeping it as it is because I love a challenge. But as we head into Australia, look at that livery. It's absolutely beautiful. The red, the blue, the purplish pink. Oh, it's absolutely gorgeous. I can't wait until we get Bahrain next episode, where it's going to fleck in the nights, in the reflections and lights. But after practice, we've got 1,000 RD points. Thankfully, we've got a teammate who's actually participating in the practice program. So since we've got about 2,000 resource points, I'm going to make 1 or 2 upgrades, one of them being the rear downforce. I don't think we're going to have it in time for Bahrain, but we should have it in time before Hanoi. As you can see, yeah, there's no point rushing it. But we've got some more resource points. I thought, let's improve the energy store, because that's that and the control electronics that really hindered us last season, how fast it worn. And you got to remember, for most of the first half of the season we was DNFing, but now I think with the driver perks, with the upgrades we've made, I think now we've got a car that should be fine. But as we head into qualifying, we did do 2 laps on the mediums, and as you can see, that has put us down to P21. So we've crossed the line. You'll start our flying lap, but remember, we've been struggling all weekend around this track. As we get into turns 1 and turns 2, not a perfect line, really running wide, running over the curbs too much around here. As now we head into this part, turns 3 and 4. Running over the curves, we're losing time here. Turn 5. Actually, it wasn't too bad around here. I think I was running like a 3.8 wing. I was running here, or 3.9. No, 3.6 it was. Sorry. So yeah, were really hindering top speed stability just for rear stability. But anyways, now we're heading into the middle sector. You can see how we are being hindered. We have had to lift off, and I didn't help. I fucked up with the gear change. I went down to 7th for some reason. So we're barely hovering over what we did on the medium tires. So there's at least a second to gain. We're about a 10th or so up. But as we head through the last turn, I didn't really look at the time. I was just focused on the track, full throttle, flat out. And what is it going to be? Have we got a Q1? Oh no, we haven't. P21. Oh, that's a real bitch, that is. Where did Sergio qualify? He just got into Q2. Christ. That just shows you how fast Sergio is. And how much time we've lost. Because yes, we lost about 7 attempts, which I think is around about right. Perhaps if we nailed it with all our lap times we did in Q1, we could have just gotten to Q2. But worst of all, our old teammates beat us. Juan Manuel Corral and Nick De Vries beated us. That's just embarrassing. But as you see, we picked our rival. It's going to be Sergio Perez. Sorry, I meant Charles Leclerc there before car interrupted. But what I did, I thought, since we're starting P21, let's take some grid penalties. Might as well. We haven't got much to gain. Anyway, because we're P21, so we're pretty much going to get everything. All brand new engine components. So at least I know now for sure we won't need to take any more grid penalties for the rest of the season unless we have a catastrophic failure. But anyway, so let's head into the race.
Months of rumour and speculation all come to an end today as we return to Melbourne for the opening race of what promises to be an enthralling season. Welcome along then to the Australian Grand Prix. Just south of Melbourne's downtown business centre is the one and only Albert Park circuit. 3.3 miles of public roads, closed for the weekend of course, make for a bumpy circuit with little undulation. There are 16 corners around the lake and a couple of good passing opportunities here as well, thanks in part to the DRS zones into turns 1, 3 and 13. A new season then, a clean slate where anything could happen. Anthony Davidson is with me today as we get another year of Formula 1 underway.
We're into those tense few minutes before the first race then. Everyone's a little bit nervous about reliability. They haven't been running in the hot, turbulent wake of other cars in practice. And they've not been pushing at 100% for long durations. Let's hope no one has to deal with any nasty surprises.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Valtteri Bottas lines up on pole position and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Albon, Stroll, Charles Leclerc and Verstappen, Giovinazzi, Ricciardo, Sainz and Esteban Ocon, Gasly, Norris, Daniel Kvyat and Perez, Matsushita, Magnussen, Sebastian Vettel and George Russell, Latifi, Correa, Davies and Nick De Vries. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out. Then let's see who can prevail today.
As you can see, we've got a 219 grid place penalty. Sergio managed to qualify P14. That just shows you how badly the car is set up around the air. Strategy is going to be a one stop. I'm planning to go from soft to mediums. We do have the tyre wear upgrades to make it work, so I thought about doing something different, but Juan Manuel Corral starting on the medium, so with how slow the car is, I think let's start on softs, then go to the mediums at the end of the race. Apart from that, there's nothing else to do. Let's get into the race. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, for 5 lights for the first time of the year. And it's lights on, away we go for the Australian Grand Prix. It's a bad start from us. We haven't really made much space at the start phase. We're going to make a massive lunge into turn 1. We had to use the grass. We got overtaken by George Russell, and that us up into P20 now as we head into turn 3. We're going to make some more dives. We've overtook Sergio Perez. We're bashing wheels with Magnussen. As you can see, we're still bashing again. We was forced wide there. We checked our front wing, and we have got a little bit of damage, I think, on the left wing. Ever so just. Magnussen tried to overtake us into turn 6. We gave him no room to overtake us, and now he's trying to get our heads down for the rest of this race and just focus. In terms of where we can finish in this race, to be honest, if we get to the points, I'll be surprised, because how badly the car handles around here. You can just see touch of oversteer for turns 12 and 13, I think, or 11 and 12, sorry. Someone will correct me on that. But yeah, you can see just how the car is handling. We're trying to keep close to Kvyat, but as we went a bit wide, we're really close up to Kvyat now. So now we're just stuck behind this massive train of about 5 or 6 cars ahead of us. I don't think points is possible, but it's just about where we can make the moves. If you can make the moves, then I don't see why we can't. But anyways, as we are progressing through the start of this race, Kvyat still trying to make an inside move. We could make it stick. I thought about making another lunge into turns 4, but no, I thought let's just hang back for now. And let's just wait until we have DRS, which is be available at the end of next lap. But as you can see, we've overtaken Kvyat now on the next lap. We had to cut that corner to make it stick. We did get a track limits warning, but now as we head into turns 30, we're going to make a move on the Alpha. Can we make it stick? Yes, we can. And this time we kept all 4 wheels within track limit. So bravo, that's well done by us. But now DRS is open, and the next driver to chase up is Gasly. Can we overtake Gasly in that Red Bull? It's gonna be Alpha Tauri, not Red Bull. But anyways, now as we progress to lap 6, we couldn't make it work. We couldn't overtake with DRS. So now I'm thinking we're going to have to make a massive lunge, I think, into turn 3, I think. Are we going to make a dive? Yes, we are going to make a dive. Oh no, we can't make it stick. No, what's happened here? Gasly has spun. What's Gasly doing? No, we had to move forward, but look at that. Everyone stopped on the track. And that's caused a safety car. Oh my god. But I'm thinking now with the safety car, for one stop to work, we would have had to pit on that 12 to go to the mediums. But I'm thinking, let's try to jump some cars. As you can see, some teams double stacking. So we think, let's see if we can jump a few cars. It's going to be a set of mediums. We're going to try 2 stopper work now. And I think, yes, we have jumped 3 cars. We was P13. Yes, Gasly we sort of overtook. So in effect, in the pit stops, we've jumped 2 cars. This wasn't intentional to cause a safety car, but it's just very weird of how everyone stopped. This is what happened in Abu Dhabi, but as you can see on the restart, I was caught napping. For some reason I was caught napping, and by the end of this straight we're going to be just under a second behind Matsushita in the Alfa Romeo in his F1 debut. But now, as you can see, we're heading down, and you can see Verstappen's trying to make a move on us. But no, we kept the elbows out. I thought about letting them pass because we knew the Red Bull's passing us, and I didn't really want to lose time to the cars behind us who were actually racing. Because Verstappen ain't a car we're racing. He's going to be way ahead of us, I think, at some point. So I thought about not battling with him too much, and I think next time we're going to battle and he tries to overtake me, I was going to leave the door open and let him overtake me. But anyways, now as we're progressing now on lap 9 now we've had a safety car, and as you can see we're close up to Matsushita. I think we're going to be just within DRS range, but can we make a move? Can we overtake in this massive DRS train which is so powerful? And as you can see we make a massive lunge into turn 1. We force ourselves past again. This time is on the rookie of Formula 1 of Matsushita, but we made it work, we made it stick, and that's what it matters. I did think about making a move on the McLaren here, but I just didn't have the acceleration, I didn't have enough room, and Norris, he covered me off, so I'm not going to force myself past on the McLaren, because I'll risk upending, damaging the front wing, which I don't need. But as you can see we're overheating a little bit because we're running on rich mix, so what I did is switch car into lean, then on to standards, and just cool the engine down for a lap or two. Get the engine cooled and then try to re-overtake. I was going to try here, nope. We just don't have the acceleration for that section of the track, because we're running such high rear downforce compared to what most people are doing, like a 5.4. But as you can see, Matsushita did try to overtake us, and we got the elbows out. We gave him just enough room, but Matsushita needs to re-upgrade his pace before he has a chance to overtake me. But as you can see now, we're going to try to overtake the racing point. I think it's Giovinazzi. Yes, it is. Driver who last year was in Alfa Romeo, but now he's definitely got a massive upgrade into the racing point car, replacing Sergio Perez. So I think at this point Sergio Perez is asking himself, why did I leave my team and go with this team? But as you can see, it's pit stop times now for those doing a 2-stopper, who's doing like the soft mediums, and Sergio's in the pits now, so hopefully he can gain some pace on that second stint and perhaps help us get into the points, because he is a lot faster than me. And again, moreover, we're suffering for the entire race. We've just been suffering tons and tons of oversteer in this race, and I think it's time to come into the pits. But look at this, Sergio Perez, he's just pitted and he's retired. I did try to look at what happened, but the game for some reason tells me he hasn't DNF'd. Well, the game tells me he's DNF'd, but it won't say the reason, like mechanical failure, terminal damage. The game wouldn't tell me this, so I'm wondering, are we going to have the same issue? But anyways, now as we're progressing now onto lap 17, I was thinking of coming to the pits at the end of this lap or the next lap. I'm thinking, let's try to get these tires stretched like lap 20, and then let's see what we can do. But at the moment, we're currently P4. Everyone ahead of us is doing a 1-stop, so they're going to stay ahead of us. But now we've got Bottas behind us and Verstappen. I did try to fight with him, but I didn't fight too much. I think we fight a little bit, but I'm going to let him overtake me at the next part of the track, because as you can see, us battling like this, we're just losing time to the people who we should be racing, like the McLarens, like the Renaults. We should be racing those cars. So yeah, we're due to pit on that 20 according to our pit strategy. But at the moment I wasn't focused on that. I was focused on this battle with Verstappen. Even though I said to myself, let him overtake. But as you can see, I did back out there. I didn't really cause too much hassle because our tyre wear is starting to degrade now. We're starting to lose grip, so I am thinking let's just let Bottas pass, because there's no point again losing time to Bottas and Hamilton because we're not racing them. They're way faster than us. And now it's at 20. And we're going to pit this lap. So now it's hammer time. Try to get the maximum pace out of the car. And I'm hoping by the time we pit, we should come out around P11, P12 possibly. But that's going to be a big ask to stay there because everyone else is already pitted. But we're going to make our pit stop now. And it's going to be another set of soft tyres. I thought about going on to the scrub set of medium tyres like we did in Q1. As you can hear that Max Sucica is retired from this race on his debut, but we made our pit stop. It's going to be a 2.2 second stop. But as you can see, you've got the Ferrari of Vettel, Ocon, Kvyat overtaking us. We've managed to stay ahead of Gasly after we may have or may not have punted him off on lap 6, I think it was. So bit of karma for us. Brakes were starting to overheat a little bit, I've noticed. But now we need to make the pace, and we're going to make a move onto Kvyat on the penultimate corner. We've barged our way past, like we have done with everyone else in this race. And now we're up to P12. And Vettel, who's in P10 at the moment, is only a second or two up the road. You can see him on the track. He's literally ahead of Ocon. So I'm thinking, let's just hammer it down. But remember, look, we're starting to use a bit too much fuel, so we've got to be careful of how much fuel we use. Yes, I know, Jeff, they will last, so shut up. But anyways, now we're catching Ocon. But I think it's going to be perhaps next lap when we get DRS again on the main straight, where we can overtake him, because you can get DRS after this little chicane section. But remember, we have lost so much time through this left and right turn. But as you can see on the next lap now, we're going to try to overtake Ocon. We made the outside move work, but he's going to fight us back. We went wide, but we did get a track limits warning there, so we've got to be careful now not to get any more track limits warnings, or that's going to be a 3-second time penalty for us. But now we're 5 or so laps to go, and Vettel is literally 1/10 of a second ahead of us. Could we catch Sainz potentially? I don't think so. Yes, we've slightly closed him off, but by the time you overtook Vettel, our tyres are going to be short potentially compared to the medium tyres. So I'm thinking P10 is going to be the best. Yes, you can see from what the race engineer said, Ocon is falling back. So at the moment, I'm not too focused on that Renault. I'm going to try and make a massive inside move onto the Ferrari. We've touched wheels. We lost a bit of carbon fibre. Is that us? Yes, it is. We've lost our left wing end plate. That's a bit of carbon, that is. We forced our way past. Haven't had damage so far, and now we've got damage. So, but we're just over 2 laps to go. I think we can keep Vettel at bay. We left him plenty of room there, but he hasn't optimised that, so yes, I know, Jeff, but as you can see now, Ocon is coming back. Ocon and Vettel is going side by side, and they had to back out of it, or that was going to end in a calamity. And now we've got a second or so gap to the cars behind us, which is happy day. So hopefully by the end of this lap, we should be out of DRS range. So far so good. It looked very good, but as you can see now through this last couple of turns, with that front wing damage, we're getting tons of understeer. Yes, I know, Jeff, shut up. But it's 2 laps to go now, and Ocon is going to close and close. He is. But I think as long as we can keep him at bay at the next 2 DRS straight, we should be comfortably in P10, pending we don't get any penalties for track limits, as we have been exploiting track limits and using it to. It's been very close with track limits throughout the whole race, so last thing I want to do is blow it right now. But now, as we're approaching end of this lap, we just need to keep these cars behind us, defend as hard as the stewards will allow us, and then I do think we can get P10. But as you can see, Ocon's going to try and make a move. He's going inside outside. We covered the inside off. We're forcing him the long way around. He couldn't make it stick as we threw the left and right hand turns. Now he's going to have DRS here, so is he going to overtake us? No, he can't. We've just had enough momentum out of that left and right. But again, we're messing up our gear changes. Don't know what's happened to me in this race. But anyways, as we head for the penultimate corner on the penultimate lap, it's just one lap to go, and to be honest, it's anyone's game. Either me, Ocon or Vettel can win this, not win this race. It feels like a win, it does, but to get 1 point, this intensity is over 1 fucking point. But now as you can see, we went wide here, asking to invite Ocon to overtake us. Can he make it stick? No, we can't. We've just had enough grip to force ourselves wide. We've used curves to the best of our ability, and I'm thinking now. Oh no, a bit of a love tap there by Ocon. We're getting the elbows out wide here. We're not forcing him in past. He's riding on our trumpets. He's going to have one more DRS straight, or 1.5 DRS straights to make the move work. Vettel is falling back a little bit, so now I think it's just between me and Ocon as Lance Stroll crosses the line to get his first win of the season in Racing Point. But now our tyres are starting to fade with these couple laps, couple of turns, sorry. But I think we're going to hold P10. Just 2 turns to go. Went a bit wide here. I was going to invite Ocon to overtake us. We curved the inside line very hard. Ocon's going to have the better exit. He's going to have DRS, but I think it's going to be P10. Yes, it is. P10 for Extreme Motorsport. I'm sorry, Chef. I might have spun the car as we crossed the line, as I usually do in these races. But what a race it's been. A tough race, but what a race.
Another superb Australian Grand Prix comes to an end, and it's a thoroughly deserved victory. So Anthony, what made the difference out there today?
Well, they played the safety car to absolute perfection. There are so many factors to worry about once the race is neutralised. I mean, do you pit for fresh rubber? Do you have the space behind you? How much fuel can you save? If you answer all of those questions correctly, you'll have a good chance. And that's exactly what happened today.
Racing Point's performance today has shown that they can be competitive with the veterans of the sport. They're making their way out to the podium now as we speak, and the reaction from the crowd must be incredibly uplifting for them.
What a result for Racing Point. P1 for Lance Stroll, but P4 for Antonio Giovinazzi in his debut in what's arguably the 4th best team, who are now potentially one of the best teams. But as you can see, for some reason, Codemasters, I came P10, but I only scored no points. And Ocon, who came P11, got the points. Could someone explain that, because I don't know how Codemaster works. I know they're filled with bugs with safety cars, yellow flags, but I've never seen this before. But Sergio Perez, oh, what a shame for him. That's going to harm his reputation, I think. As you can see, in the standings, we're P11, but became P10. In the Constructors' Championship, at the moment, it's Racing Point who are leading, but I think it's anyone's race. I really think.
The fans really seem to enjoy that. It made it look easy. You were cutting your way through the field during the race.
Oh yes, I was. We had There's a huge help with the team, but it's that chassis once again. Yeah, so I think so, but again, it's a huge teamwork. It's a huge team effort. Yeah, no, but I'm not going to comment on that. Not really, but let's just make a comment. No worries, Claire. Thank you, you nosy so-and-so at times. But after the first race, we've outperformed Charles Leclerc, who must have had a disastrous of a race. So currently, we're somehow leading him in the rivalry. And our team claim's gone up a little bit, but not much because of Sergio Perez's DNF. Hopefully, he can bounce back at Bahrain. Hopefully, our car improves at Bahrain, because it's a power circuit and we do have a good engine, but again, as you can see, we haven't got a podium, so I think we need to change our sponsors when we can renew it. We're at 5.07 mil now, but that's going to be it for this episode. If you like what you see, please leave a like and subscribe for more weekly F1 content. This is Next Gen Envoy Extreme, and I'll catch you all very soon.